Hello, atheists. So I want to talk about context, and I want to get to two things. Talk about context, and I'm also going to get to this video. You're going to have to bear with me through the video. I do not have any editing skills, so you're going to have to just listen to the video, and I'm going to say my piece on it, and we'll take it from there, make of it what you will. Anyhow, context. Context is really important. When you see atheists talking a lot of times, they're debating things with theists or whatever it is, you will find that when the theist says, this is the context, you have to understand the context. The atheist will basically knock down context in general. Like, they'll say, no, but it literally means that. Because those are what the words literally mean. If majority of theists, of religious people out there are outright saying, you have to understand the context and understand what we're understanding from it, the response is, oh, okay, what are you understanding from it? Okay, I may not agree that you understand that from that, how you got there, but if that's what you guys are all genuinely understanding, and that's what's being passed down, and this is a good thing, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. So you're basically hating on that. It literally says something that you don't like how they get the context, how they get what they get out of it based off the context, how they're understanding it. So you're basically hating on it. You basically knock it down, whatever it is. And the thing is, what really matters is being able to understand what a person's meaning. That's really what matters. And atheists have been responding. I think they're atheists. People are responding to my videos saying things that it sounds like they're not understanding the context of what I'm saying. So I made a video, Fantasy of Atheism. People have responded, fantasy means something improbable and impossible. What you're talking about is obviously, they didn't say those literal words, but it's like they're trying to debunk me, I guess, saying what the word is wrong, so therefore what I'm saying is wrong and not true or something. I don't know exactly the meaning or the reason behind the purpose for the person doing this, but I think that I'm perfectly justified how I use the word fantasy over there. Because fantasy, if it's something impossible and improbable, which it is, then me explaining that I'm meaning something not real by using the word fantasy, there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly justified. You know, we talk to people all the time, and when we're always talking to each other, a lot of the times, we just have to understand the context of what a person is saying. And the best you can ask for is a person explains what they're saying. That's the best you can ask for. You cannot ask that everyone says every little detailed word to the exact way that it's supposed to be said to what it literally means. That's ridiculous, honestly. Most people do not talk like this. Most people, they can't always think of the right words for everything. They have to explain themselves in the best way they can. And most of the time we can understand them. But if you're going to always be knocking them down and knocking down the context of what their understanding is, what they mean by it, you're going to have a problem just communicating in general. And I'd like atheists to be able to communicate and be understanding with each other, and knocking down the context of the Bible and what people think it means from it is no good. Now, when it comes, most of the time on the atheist experience, it comes to God, to show me where there's a God, and then when the person brings up the Bible, they say there's no proof for God from there. Okay, fine, that's reasonable. I get that. But when it comes to other things about slavery or whatever it is that they also talk about, and you hear other people talking about, not just slavery. There's so many things in the Bible that they just pull out and they say things that you learn moral things from and different things, and just be like, but it doesn't literally mean that, and you learn it from this and that. And when I find more recordings for that, I'll play them. In the meantime, let's get to this video, because one of the things someone sent me was, they sent me one video. I think that I said was another thing that I think was taken out of context. Now, the context wasn't understood. A thing that I said was outspoken atheists. That I want outspoken atheists to be defending religion. And when outspoken atheists are defending religion, then if they were, there would be no point in me trying to make a channel and do this. So what someone did, they sent me a video of someone who has 40 subscribers. Now, I would think that when I say outspoken atheists, that it would be understood. I'm clearly talking about not someone who just has access to a YouTube channel, someone who can sell out stadiums, someone who's like a big name. I would think that would be implied, but apparently I have to explain an influential, outspoken atheist, someone who has an influence. But then you could argue that this guy has an influence on 40 people. Someone can, based off the subscribers, and then there's always that much more viewers. So you could say this guy's an influential, outspoken atheist too. So now I have to go to the extreme and say an outspoken, influential atheist who sells out stadiums. Like, this. Honestly, to me, this kind of sounds nuts. I should be able to say outspoken atheist, and you should be able to understand what I'm meaning. That I'm talking about someone who has an influence, someone who has, and if you're going to just... And the only reason I would even think to say this and respond to this is only because of the way I see atheists debate each other and how they actually knock down context. So because I'm addressing atheists in my whole point of my channel is to address atheists. I want atheists to understand all these things, and I can't understand how atheists may think to themselves, may not think to themselves how the context matters, or be able to think within the context, because they lost sight of that, or they never had sight of that, because they're being influenced by these atheists to not understand the context. And when someone's in a disagreement with you, you don't actually try looking at the context of what they're saying. You just be able to knock down everything they say. A lot of times you'll see the atheists will just think, this guy won the debate. I don't even know what that means, someone wins a debate. Most of the time when there's a debate, you have the people who agree with one person. Those people will think that person won. And the other side, those people think they won. Really, at the end of the debate, a winner is when they both agree on something. That's the winner of a debate. When they both come when one proves the other one wrong to the extent that they both really came to agreeing with each other. You don't really see that happen. You just see them arguing and just saying their views, and then you have everyone picking sides. And then everyone's just like, no, my side's the winner, no, my side's the winner. But no one's really the winner. The winner is at the end of the debate, they walk away shaking hands and actually coming away with both agreeing with something because they learned something. Even if it's something I disagree with or you disagree with, whatever it is, that's a winner of the debate. But it doesn't mean that that person's right. It just means you won the debate. That's my understanding of what it means to win a debate. Anyhow, back to defending religion. So that's what one of the things I said was. So someone sent me. So that same person also sent me a video of Richard Dawkins defending religion. So you're gonna have to bear with me. I don't have any editing skills. Just hear this clip out, and then I'm gonna explain my thoughts on this clip. It's Richard Dawkins supposedly defending religion. Check it out.
Richard Dawkins, from your perspective, presumably you wouldn't be entirely opposed at all to the idea.
I would be thoroughly in favour of education in the Bible as literature. You can't understand English literature without the Bible. You can't take your allusions. And that's an aspect of what the bishop was saying. He was absolutely right. This is a Christian country. Historically, it's a Christian country. You can't understand English history or English literature without a knowledge of the Bible. And by the way, I think I should say that the act of collective worship, I don't approve of it, but nevertheless, the Christian religion, especially I think the Anglican religion, is benign by comparison. If a child at the end of its school career wants to give up religion, the church will quite happily say, okay, go your own way. The penalty for apostasy in the Christian religion is not death. There is no penalty for apostasy at all in the Christian religion. The Christian religion is comparatively benign, and we should respect it as such.
Richard Dawkins, does a God-shaped perspective or set of values do any harm to the way in which children should be taught in schools?
Thou shalt have no other God before me, thou shalt make no graven image, thou shalt keep the Sabbath holy. What on earth's that got to do with anything to do with morals? That's the Ten Commandments, or at least 3 of them. It would be deeply depressing if the only way children could get moral values was from religion, either from Scripture, and God knows we don't want them to get it from Scripture, I mean just look at Scripture, or from God, being intimidated by God. Anybody who is good only those 2 reasons is not really being good at all. Why not teach children things like the golden rule, do as you would be done by? How would you like it if other children did that to you? So why do you do it to them?
So God is not only irrelevant, God is damaging.
I didn't say God was damaging, but I think it's depressing that anybody should suggest that you actually need God in order to be moral. I would hope that our morals come from a better source than that, and that therefore they are genuinely moral rather than based on outmoded scripture or based on fear.
Professor.
Okay, so that is like the saddest excuse for defending religion ever. He starts off defending literature and history, saying that we need to be taught that because it's part of American history, it's part of history, and that's fine and all, I agree with that. But he goes on, and then he defends the fact that you don't get killed, because he's talking about Muslims, I think, that you leave the faith of Islam, you will get killed if you want to leave. That's the only way out is death. And the fact that, so the defense for Christianity here is like Christianity is better than Islam because you're not going to get killed if you leave Christianity, and that it's good because it's necessary because it's just history in America. But then everything else he says after that is hating on the religion. It's depressing that to have morality in our society from the religion. That's not genuine morality. What does that even mean, genuine morality? I mean, people are genuine. They want to be good for whatever reason. It's a person who believes they're being genuine for God, they're being good for God, is still being genuine. They just believe it's for God. So you're saying it's disingenuous because it's not really you? I mean, are you being disingenuous when you're doing your job well for your boss? You're being disingenuous when who are you to decide what a person's motives are, what they're thinking? Because the God thing helps these people be moral, but it's not from them. It's like he's literally just hating on the religion more. The defending here, the video I got defending religion is Richard Dawkins hating on religion. That's a joke as far as I'm concerned. I'm not out to hate on anyone or just like hurt anyone's feelings or whatever it is. I just think that's kind of a joke that I get a video. Here's Richard Dawkins defending the religion because this is what I really meant, which I explained to the guy in the comment. I actually meant someone influential. He's like, oh, here it is, and then this is what I get. Richard Dawkins hating and bashing the religion, but he defends a few things in comparison to Islam. I'll put a link in the description. You can see the whole video if you want, but I'm sorry, this is not a defense of religion whatsoever, and it's completely misunderstanding. It goes to saying things that it's depressing that we get morality from religion. Where do you imagine we get morality from? We shouldn't get it. You don't like that it comes from religion? Is that what you're saying? You would like it came from somewhere else? And then the people who don't like that, they'd say, I don't know, there should be something else maybe there is something else. Maybe they'll find themselves leading to religion, thinking, we don't like that we just get our morality just from ourselves. Like, this can't be that we just have this from us. Maybe it comes from something out there, something greater than us. Wouldn't that be magnificent? And then you got a group of people gathering together, creating a religion. And then you go in circles here because you're finding that you're not satisfied with how we got morality in our society, or that where we get morality from. You think it's depressing where you get morality from. You can argue that's depressing, that it's just from people, because if things are really this good, this moral, maybe there's something greater. I mean, why not? Maybe you won't think that. I don't know. Whatever it is, the idea that's just depressing because it's from the Bible, that's from religion. I'm not sure what's depressing about that. I'm not sure what's wrong with that. People need to be taught things. People need incentives to do good and bad and not do bad. This is reality of human nature, reality of human beings. You take away the religion and the God. As far as I'm concerned, you're taking away this incentive from I don't know how many people, and how many more people will be worse because of it. And it's depressing I think it's more depressing to do that than to actually have the religion to actually be more beneficial for that much more people who will find use of it being from God. Not having that, being able to provide that within society is more depressing, I would say. It's more depressing that that's not real. The God thing's not real. What does it matter to you as an atheist? Why does it matter if this thing isn't real? Really, why does it matter? You believe it's not real is one thing, but why do you care that other people believe it's real? They believe that it's real. It makes them feel more fulfilled. It makes them feel connected to a greater being, all that stuff. And it helps them, gives them incentive to want to be that much better for this thing. Why is that depressing? Why do you care about that? It's not real, so you're going to end up being dead and going nowhere because you don't believe in that. And they're going to be dead, also go nowhere, but they're going to believe they go somewhere and they live their life that much greater for that somewhere else they think they're going to go. That's depressing? I don't know what he's talking about. That's depressing. Anyhow, all the best, and thanks for watching.